And so we had to go to Coimbra for a mission zone conference. And so with that, we stayed in the house of a of another companionship. And so they like set everything up for us. I actually got to sleep on one of the beds when one of the missionaries actually slept on the floor. He was a cool guy. But my companion, he slept on the top bunk of a bunk that usually was used for storage. But we all got into bed, and like I had prayed and I started going to sleep, and then suddenly I just hear this big old crash. And so the missionary on the floor, he was a superhero or something. He like at the moment that crash was happening, he was already on his feet and flipped the light switch. And then we looked over, and the bunk bed, the missionary on top, the end had fallen down, and he was kind of like hovering on top of the frame because he didn't want to fall onto the missionary underneath. And so you saw him, two hands were on the board on the front, his feet were balancing on the board in the back, and the mattress was just like halfway down. And the other missionary, he happened to be like sleeping the other way, so his head was on the side that didn't fall. But it was just the funniest thing of my mission. I just looked over, my companion's just hovering on top of the frame in a bunk bed, and the other missionary is just freaking out at the bottom. He thought like, he said like his thought process whenever that was going, it was like, oh my gosh, this bed is gonna fall on me. But luckily no one was hurt from that. We had to help our companion, like help him get down gently because the frame was already falling apart as he was hovering on top. But it was just one of the funniest things. I took pictures of like the bed after that moment, and yeah, I was laughing for a good 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, and I still referenced it with my companion. Even after we left, I'd call him every once in a while, and I'm like, remember when your bunk bed fell on the other elders? And the interesting about that story is that happened 1 week before a transfer. The next transfer, I got transferred to that house with the bunk bed that fell. But yeah, that's one of the crazy stories I could think of. It's very short.